In March of 2023, Capcom rocked the gaming community by releasing their wildly awaited remake of one of their most beloved games of all time, Resident Evil 4, to widespread acclaim. By now, I'm sure you've heard the news. A 10 out of 10 on IGN, a 93 on Metacritic, it's undoubtedly a success, particularly when compared to Resident Evil 3 Remake. But was it meant to be an amazing remake from the start, or could it have flopped, such as Resident Evil 3R? What did Capcom do so right this time around? Most studios receive a huge amount of blowback when releasing a remake that fails to not only stick to the roots and original source material of the franchise, but modernize and update the game in critical areas that should be updated, whether it be visuals, modern gameplay mechanics, what have you. Not only is this bad for business, but damages the reputation of said studios, which can be costly and painful to win back if ever. And rightfully so. Isn't that the whole reason why we want modern remakes in the first place? My thinking here is this: unhappy fans and consumers equals negative company and product blowback, decreased sales, and ultimately dissolution and sinking confidence in future installments. Now sure, you could argue the point that at the end of the day, people will always continue to buy whatever new Pokemon or Legend of Zelda or a God of War game they crank out, and to a certain extent you are right. But make no mistake, Capcom and other studios which are cranking out these well-respected remakes these days appear to definitely be paying closer attention to the pulse of the gamers, which is a welcome and hopefully long-term strategy for developers. In this day and age whereupon a company can lose billions in a matter of days via any one of 1,000 controversies, even the largest developers and businesses are treading carefully in today's world. Now, I am aware Resident Evil 4 Remake did feature microtransactions upon launch, and did drop a mixedly reviewed Mercenaries mode, which I personally had fun, but it was admittedly short and did feel a little bit rushed. I could go on into what the game did fail to deliver on, in my opinion, or anyone else's, but this video, like all my content, instead is going to offer my own review and experience with the game, as well as why I think this element of fan base loyalty, right, fan base recognition, at least in this particular game's case, not only met the expectations of our beloved remake, but smashed the ever-living shit out of them. When comparing Resident Evil 4 Remake with Resident Evil 3 Remake, I couldn't help but notice a few key differences. Although the graphics, gunplay, lack of cheesiness, and overall more serious tone closely matched Resident Evil 2 Remake, the third installment simply felt incomplete. My runtime was about 6 to 7 hours longer on Resident Evil 4 Remake, which may not seem like much in the grand scheme of things, but it does make a difference. I was playing on hardcore mode during both runs of the games, which does add some time. Not only was my runtime shorter in Resident Evil 3 Remake, but the areas just felt much tighter, more narrow, more linear, at least when compared to the old Resident Evil 3 I remember back from when I was a kid. The whole story, while beautiful, and graphics and gunplay are fun in the third remake, as a whole, it just felt a lot more rushed. It seems like this time around, Capcom really took the time to not only recreate the beautiful or horrifying, right, environments they showcased in the originals, but from what I could tell, at least with Resident Evil 4 Remake, they did seem to pay very close attention to the missteps they made in Resident Evil 3 Remake, and at the very least, made the game longer. In terms of gameplay, I have to admit, it just feels spectacular, both times around, but particularly in Resident Evil 4 Remake. Although the original Resident Evil 4 was amazing and really did held up during its test of time, there's just nothing like experiencing it remade, right, on 2023 hardware. Everything from the graphics to the sound design, although they did cut out a lot of the original OST. Again, to the gunplay, it really just works and clicks for me. The movement controls, on the other hand, feel different this time around, and I have to admit I do hate how slow Leon feels sometimes. It almost feels like how I run in my dreams or nightmares. I don't know, perhaps that's how it's supposed to feel. This was perhaps my biggest gripe with the game overall. It just really feels like Leon is running around with concrete shoes the whole time. It does feel like he's light on his feet, but he still feels slow, right? I don't know if that's just a byproduct of the Resident Evil engine, or if that's how they designed it by default. From what I experienced, both games are a masterpiece. That includes Resident Evil 3 Remake, despite its shortness. Resident Evil 4 Remake just does it in a much more appealing and modern gameplay style most gamers are accustomed to. The game ran for me at almost perfect quality with an average FPS of around 60 to 75 consistently throughout my playtime. No crashes, no stutters, no glitching, nothing. Felt like a very polished and quality game that I hadn't seen since the Resident Evil 2 remake. In the end, from a Resident Evil fan and a moderate gamer with about 25 years of experience under my belt, Resident Evil 4 was and remains a very dope experience, especially the remake. Sure, it doesn't scare me to my core like Resident Evil 2 does, embarrassingly enough, and maybe for some it doesn't measure up to its original if you're a hardcore critic, and I understand that if that's you. But for me, it definitely does. I am not the most hardcore critic. I was truly impressed by this game, and I'm not the only one, right? It sold 3 million units within days of its launch, again, making it the second fastest Resident Evil game of all time, behind Resident Evil 6. Not only does it remain faithful to its original roots, but it modernizes the game, enhances it with modern gameplay mechanics, graphics, sound design, you name it, and really uplifts the bar for its already impressive armada of modern-day remakes. I have yet to play Code Veronica and Resident Evil 6. I would like to play them soon, especially considering Capcom undoubtedly smells blood in the water and will likely be coming back for more. Hey guys, if you did enjoy this, please remember to subscribe for more content like this in the future. This is my very first attempt at YouTube, and as you can tell, this channel is nothing serious, just my personal reviews and quick tidbits with you guys. Stuff that I buy and go over that I think I should share with you. I know you guys are busy, but I did want to check in with you, make sure everything is okay, and again, wish you well. Please do be safe and be kind as always. Thanks guys, one love.